Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's up? We already have people watching us.
Do we?
Do. We have.
All right. Well, anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Romeo Giovani,
My name is Alexandre Leitão.
and we are here to help you learn how to see what modifiers can do.
Exactly.
So
We're
we'll
gonna
read
do all of them.
quite a few of them, actually. Yeah. What I did was I took every modifier, well, not everyone, but pretty much about half my modifiers to make it, and blasted it on my living room white wall because it's a big white wall, and to see what the effects were. So that way, beginners and stuff like that can actually see what each modifier can and will do. And then also, both of us are going to show you some images utilizing the certain modifiers.
Yeah, and talk about what are the indications for it, how you should use it,
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of pictures you should do with it.
Yeah. So sit back, relax, and I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this one.
Let's go to the first one.
Yeah, let's do that.
The first one is the amazing 60-inch umbrella.
The 60-inch umbrella, as you can see, is 60 inches wide. I mean, this thing's massive. Okay. The one I'm using here is actually the all white, which you can use as a shoot through and you can use as a bounce. It comes with a 135-inch spread. This thing's only about 5 feet from the wall because I just wanted to see from a position of where you usually use it at. And in this case, when you spun it around, it actually got bigger at 173-inch spread. So excuse me for wearing just a bunch of weird clothes when I was doing this, but hey, that's what it is. So with 60-inch spread, show you one picture that I did.
Oh, Steve from the Brazilian Live is here. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey, Steve. So this shot was done with two 60-inch umbrellas. This one was done basically left and right side, hitting the whole crew. And again, it's a wide spread of light, so it's easier to hit, especially for large teams.
How far? Okay, we have several layers of people there.
Mm-hmm.
How far the modifier was? The light was how far from the people, from the girls?
It's probably from that left side group here. We're looking at probably, I want to say it was about 10 feet from there.
10
And
feet.
then on this side, it was like probably about 8 feet from this long one here.
And you can see the difference in the shadows under
Yeah.
that. So you can see the people the girls who are closer to the light, the shadow is a bit more soft than the ones back there.
Right. Down here, you can see how it's softened here, and back here, it's a little more harsh. It was a rush job, unfortunately, but they're just huge. And they, like Hampstead said, Humstay, I guess is how you say your name. I'm not sure. I might mess it up.
It's a Steve.
But it is big and it is awesome light. And when you get really close with that thing, it's like wraps these people continuously. So I mean, it's a high fashion light, I guess you could put it. But like for large groups, it's great. You can cover a huge group. So that's one thing.
I just bought one of those, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. I couldn't really use it, but in fact, I bought one of the reflective ones that has a sock in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I thought was cool is that even with that, if you kind of angle the light, you still have control and doesn't spill everywhere, you know?
Yep, but that all depends on if it's a shoot through or not. Because if it's a shoot through, like the one that we just had in the video, that will actually throw light all over the place also. Now, if you have the one with the black back on it, which I lost the black back on that one, so I don't have it no more. The one that I had in the video. But the black back, you can get it to where it just reflects the light, and then that would make it, again, one way, so you can angle it to a point to where it won't hit the backdrop. So our next one that we're going to show you,
32 inches.
so this is the 32-inch white shoot through. Okay, this one is probably the most basic of basic, and it only cost you probably about $8. This is the simplest form that you can use in flash photography. Okay, it's also the cheapest. This has a 135-inch spread when we actually measured it out. And like I said, it's just like the 6-inch. They just throw light everywhere. There's nothing focusing. It does kind of stay focused. For the 100, for that 35, let me see. I know I have one in here. For the 35, we're probably going to look at umbrella. There we go. This was an umbrella shot that I did on set. And you can see, if I zoom in, you can see that umbrella right there. And the umbrella is really, it throws light everywhere. But they had so much stuff on set that it actually blocked a lot of the other stuff. So all the behind her looks darker. And it's darker because there was things blocking the light from hitting. And it just happened to be a perfect shot. And this is on the movie set. So you can't really control stuff on the set. And in this case, it was a perfect shot, so I took it. But
one important thing that, if you don't mind, I come back with the video here. One important thing about this is the way, the distance you position the umbrella from the light. Because if you put it too close,
right,
you're not gonna use the whole umbrella, and your light is gonna get more harsh in the person. It will be a harder light.
You're focusing the light when you do that. You want to utilize, whenever you utilize an umbrella, you want to utilize the whole umbrella. You don't just want to utilize that center. When you're doing a reflected, you might get closer just to kind of beam it, but at the same time, it's, most of the time you want to use that the whole 32 inch.
So you will make the light source bigger and get a softer light.
Right.
Then we have the 32 silver bounce umbrella.
Silver bounce umbrella this is a awesome one for portraits, stuff like that. When you're looking at silver, it's very pow. I mean, the light will reflect harder. It's harsher light. Still kind of goes everywhere, which you're going to see in a second. This light is kind of a scattered light in a way. So it kind of helps out. This does have a 135-inch spread, but it's kind of a diminished spread, which is kind of cool. But again, it's a huge light source. So in this picture, you can see I use that silver umbrella underneath some trees. This is during the daytime, by the way. I was just in some trees, like overhead covering trees. And you can see that it's a very sharp light, and you can see a shadowing, which in post, I kind of take out some of that. So
you can see his shoulder too.
Right. Yeah, right here. This is harsh. And you can see how that umbrella is just bam. I mean, it really throws the light a lot. But it's a cool effect, especially if you're trying to make a dramatic type of photo. It's also pretty good for a fill light if you try to use it for fills. You always can throw it behind the camera area and light the subject at about 1.5 stops less than what your main is, and it makes for a great fill. So that's one thing I used to do.
Where are we here? Now we have the 24 by 36 softbox.
And also, if anybody has any questions, leave them.
Yeah, two things. If you have any questions about modifiers, just drop in the chat box. And if you have any pictures you did with any modifiers, just tag us on Instagram, Photo Talk Show, and we will bring live here to discuss over it. Okay, so
with the massive shoot through, if you got enough power, would you use one head? One would prevent the double shadow, or two to get broader, more even spread on that large group of cheerleaders. In this case, it was basically I had like 10 minutes, so I just threw something up and shot it. But yeah, I would probably use backlighting. I'd probably do like 2 in the back in order to reduce those shadows. But yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, so let's bring the softbox.
All right. So now we're talking about one of my more used reflectors. This has a 69-inch spread. It's a 24 by 32 softbox. It's 5 feet from the wall, so you can see how it makes it just to the wall, and then it's more focused.
Oh, this is
now we're
important.
putting the grid, and you can see the grid reduces the amount of light, but it keeps it in that larger format. And with the softbox, I mean, it's a very focused light, but you can utilize it in several different ways. Feathering makes it shorter, but it also allows you to feather faster. So you're able to move it off and actually take good pictures. So in this case, this is one of the seniors that I had shot, one of my senior models. She got used with the square softbox, and you can see how it's a very even light. It's very nice. This does not have the grid on it, so this is an actual full. It's not on the background because the way those are shaped, you're in a rectangle, and as long as you pull it off of that backdrop, the edge of that softbox will pull the light off of the backdrop. So that way, all you have to do is go across her, and you'll get the same effect without any light hitting that backdrop.
I think we're going to get to this a bit later, but oh shit, sorry, I just put my picture by mistake. But I usually use the same softbox as a fill, or coming from under or coming from the side is very versatile.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely versatile. I mean, you can use them for backlights. You can use them for
oh, that's an amazing picture.
Soft lights. I mean, it's a well-made. The square box with a larger size. The closer you get to them, the more it wraps, the more it does all that good stuff.
And I guess after the ship the umbrellas, the small ones, this is the first modifier a beginner buy, because here softbox are cool because they make the light soft, and they go for a square softbox, a rectangular softbox.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys that I like the octagon or the beauty dish, so I mix those a lot.
Hey, we have some questions here. So Eric is asking if octabox is better than an umbrella. He's asking Portuguese. I'll start to do some real-time
translation. Better than a umbrella, yes.
Okay, then Thomas is just saying hi.
Hey, Thomas. Yeah, softbox will always beat an umbrella. An umbrella is like a sail. If you're outside or you go outside
Thanks, man.
and you put an umbrella up there, I'm pretty sure Mr. Alex here can tell you what
Let's not talk about it.
happened.
We're gonna show it in the next live, okay? In the next live, we're gonna show what happened last weekend. I don't want to do it before the Brazilian one. So next weekend we talk about umbrellas and wind, you know?
If you go to jiffy.com and put in Lightbox Live, you might find it. Did I just say that out loud? I'm sorry. So, let's go to the next one, shall we? All right. So the 52-inch parabola. All right. This thing is huge. When you got to sit here, it takes you like 10 minutes to put this thing together. Okay. You can see me. I'm sitting there just snapping them, putting them together. Just kind of show you how much this thing is. It's massive. Okay. But what's cool about this is that it does a lot of cool stuff. The deep throw will literally throw the light for forever. Okay, this is a 98-inch spread.
That's a question I think everybody has.
Yeah.
What will be the difference in between a deep octa and a regular octa?
Okay, a regular octa is going to spread that light a lot further. Okay. The deep octa, as you can see, it really focuses it in. And now this is the inner baffle, and you can see it puts a center, kind of like a beauty dish. But its magnitude of light, it doesn't allow it to escape. So the light travels more straight in a straight line.
So you lose less light.
So
not only it focuses more the light,
right?
It makes you lose less light. If you have too much spread, you're gonna just waste the light that is coming through the sides.
Right. And like this is a shot I did across the pool. Okay, I had the deep octa because I knew I was going to be shooting almost halfway down the pool, and I needed that distance. And the deep octa will allow the light to kind of come together and shoot straight out instead of away. And that's one of the reasons why I like using that. I think I have another one of the deep octa. Let's see. This is beauty dish.
Two lights on one which side. Great idea. I would try this. I would have thought to just have two lights on the front. Thank you. That's Steve, Ron.
Yeah, I know. Yes, Steve's talking about this shot here. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to get something behind them on this side. On this side, you probably could have, just to give them a little bit of a backlighting. But yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Just to let our viewers to know, there is a lag. So we are actually a few minutes ahead of you. So if we take some time to answer your questions, it's just because it didn't get to us yet, okay?
All right. So what's the next one?
The next one is 18-inch ring lights.
Oh, yeah, the little ring light. So the ring light is actually one of my faves for dark type of images. And here you can see I'm putting actually a grid on there. I actually took a beauty dish grid and I like to throw that on top, and it actually focuses the light a lot better. That's just something that I like to do. But you can see it drops it down to 30 inches. I mean, it's like a really, really finite light.
That's one thing I never thought about doing it. I learned it from you. There is getting a ring light and just get your beauty dish grid and put it in front of it. It works great.
Well, they don't have any. So you just make it and you put it there and it works.
And I guess it works with LED panels too.
Yeah.
if your grid is big enough.
Oh yeah. And this right here, I'm showing a BTS kind of because this is the ring light. So you can see the ring light actually lights up the person really well, right? And if I get to the other image, and the ring light, that's the final product of what came from that ring light. So you can see how that ring light is a great ring light. I mean, it's one of my favorites to shoot with darker images. But you can see the ring in her eye. But yeah, this is one that I like to shoot basically with boudoir photos or some type of very romantic style photo. I will do ring lights all the time.
Steve is saying nice rim light on the swimmer. It
Oh, yeah.
was actually the sun, wasn't it?
That was the sun. That wasn't like intentional. It was intentional because I had him swimming towards me with the sun behind him, letting the sun become that natural rim light. So that was one thing. But yeah, again, with the ambiance of bridal, boudoir, romantic style photos, I like to have that intimate feel of like a doorway open and having it look like lights coming from some type of doorway, and it makes them look just beautiful. So
It's very cinematic.
yeah, I mean, basically that's what it is, and they really like the photo. So, and that's one big key to making money is they have to like it.
Yeah, it's lit in short side. You're taking a picture short side.
This is actually a profile shot, and she had a great face for it. So that's one of the reasons why I went with that route. What's our next?
We didn't get to any modifiers I have yet. I don't think we did.
We're getting to one.
This one was the ring light, wasn't? So now we have the beauty dish. You're not gonna make fun of my beauty dish, okay? That's not allowed.
This one.
My reflector again, as you say.
So now looking at the beauty dish, you can see how the beauty dish has a center blocker, right? And this center blocker allows it to reduce the amount of light that's hitting the actual subject. So I'm going to put that back up there. So if you look at how it makes a ring, right? But it has that center part that's very, very close to where the focus of that person is. And that makes it so the skin doesn't really glisten too hard. So I use a beauty dish for this shot. Now I'm about 12 feet from her on this one. This was for a gun store that wanted to make a bunch of calendars or something like that. I can't remember.
12 feet?
Yeah, it's about 12 feet from her. And that was just so I was able to get the spread I needed to cover the entire body. And if you put a grid on it, which we'll show you right here. So now with the beauty dish, if you put a grid on it, it will completely focus that light. And you'll see as soon as it gets put on that the light is very focused, right? So we're looking at 13 inches in the center and you got 32-inch spread. So it's really about, 2 hands, a little more than 2 hands wide, right? So what I did was I used that to shoot my wife with. There she is. So that's using the beauty dish with the grid. And yes, that is my lovely wife, Melanie. And you can see how it keeps that focus very close. All the lights right here. Nothing's going back here. in her body. Um, this is one of my favorites, I guess you could say, modifiers. And I know you've used a beauty dish, right?
I had my 16 inches beauty dish that Rome calls a standard reflector because it's so small.
Well, I mean, you know, I can't help it if you don't have.
And this is the kind of thing I get with it. So I
Right.
still have some kind of specularity here. You have to take in consideration there was a lot of that shining makeup on the girl. This ring light was done by a softbox. The softbox we just talked. By that time, I didn't have a strip bank, and well, that's it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can see how the beauty of the light is from that, even if it's 16 inches, as long as you have it in the right distance, you can get that light to do basically the same thing.
I think it was about 4 feet from the model.
Yeah, because you have to get closer because the smaller the light source, the more harsher the light.
Mm-hmm.
So with a 16-inch, you got to get it, within a foot to a foot and a half in order to really get them to have any type of wrapping to go with the 16-inch.
Then I used the softbox to do the ring light in the side, and I think I used a standard a reflector under it to bounce it, give it some feel under the neck.
Sure. And
conchal lighting.
But yeah, and so this one is a senior. Whoops. This one's a senior. Okay, this is still using the beauty dish. The beauty dish is awesome for outside because it is one of those modifiers that you can basically put it out there and the wind isn't going to take it as easy as softboxes. Softboxes are like sails. So, the beauty dish is one of, like I said, my favorites because I take it all over the place. I mean, that's one of the most used modifiers that I use. And I have the metal ones. The metal ones are great. This was a metal one that I used for this one, but I also use a 32-inch, 220 centimeters, I think is what it is.
How many inches?
20. Well, no, that was 32.
32 is 81 centimeters.
All right, so 81 centimeters for those that want to know the centimeters. That one I use, it's actually a glow softbox that comes from Autorama, and it's the one that collapses. So I'm able to run and gun and throw it together in seconds, and it just makes a really good thing.
And is it cheaper in the States than the hard shell ones?
I think they're probably the best for the dollar for what they do.
I have one more picture from the same beauty dish, but this time with a sock on it. There is this one.
Yeah.
You can see the quick fall off of the light. There is a few under her, okay? But you can see the quick fall off and how harsh the light is still, even with the sock and even close to the girl.
Yeah. I mean, the sock does a great job also without a grid. It softens that light. It really spreads it out nicely and evenly. A lot of photographers I know all use beauty dishes with socks. So, and I'm one of them. I mean, that's one of the most flattering light that they have out there. So next thing is a strip bank. So the strip bank is a strip that's 12 inches by 60 inches, and it throws light about 48 inches at 5 feet from the wall. And here you're going to see me put the grid on. And again, that grid is going to very, very sharply bring down that light. So if you're using it for bodyscapes or if you're using it for, you know, highlights or anything like that,
I have an
you'll,
example here.
what you got?
I have an example of the
Oh,
highlight.
yeah, there you go. So, that strip bank makes a beautiful highlight or kicker light um, that comes off of their body, and it's great because they take up the whole body. And I just want to do a thanks to Photodiox for recent awesome customer service that we got from them. Just letting you know, Photodiox has some superb customer service when it comes to if they make a mistake, they actually let us keep a 20 by 48 soft or a 20 by 80 softbox, which is freaking amazing.
Huge, massive,
And
bigger than Rome.
they sent it by accident, and I just called up, and man, the guys there are phenomenal. So if you're looking for Photodiox, contact them. I'm sure they can give you a great deal, and just tell them the Photo Talk Show sent you. Who knows? You
Guys,
might get something.
sorry, finish.
So,
I'm
but yeah,
still waiting your pictures in our hashtag, so send pictures.
yeah. I mean, if you guys have any questions, send them. Let's see. What's our next one?
You want to bring the video first or the picture first?
So we got an 8-inch standard reflector. This comes with every single. I mean, it's literally every single modifier or strobe that you buy. They come with this nice little 8-inch reflector. So here I'm showing you the 8-inch reflector now with the 30-degree grid, which you can see that it's only 5 feet from the wall and it's a 48-inch spread. So you can see how it's pulled it in a lot. And then, of course, I'm going to switch it over to a 20-degree. And I still wrote 30-degree, but it's a 20-degree. And so that's, you can see the differences. And if we go over here, dink.
Now, this is a beast.
This is a
Manage.
30-degree grid that I put on a standard reflector. So you can see how it gives you some type of sense of time. It's almost like it's timeless. I mean, really simply done, you can actually turn this into black and white, and these images always come out great. So this is the one that's for the 20-degree grid. Sorry about that. 20-degree grid. I thought it was 30, but it's 20. Let's see. I thought I had another.
Let's make a pause here while you look for it. And every photographer every guy that is starting photography, he listened to that soft light is flattering, hard light is not. So let's talk a bit about hard light, Ron. What are your opinions on it?
So hard light is fashion light, right? That's kind of what I look at it as. Hard light is what you see in a lot of fashion stuff where they have a dress. You'll see this super sharp outline of the person behind them. It's also for makeup. I've seen a lot of makeup ads that are in a very sharp light. But the thing is sharp light isn't so flattering to the individual. In fashion, it's about the clothing, right? So they want to light up that clothing. They want to make that clothing look the best they can. It's not about the model. That's why sharp light isn't so bad, because it kind of takes some of the blemishes out of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at hard light is a small light source. It could be a flash, a speed light. I mean, it could be an 8-inch reflector. It could be a 6-inch reflector. I mean, it could be a bazooka. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those, but they could be. It's like a 12-inch deep. They call it bazookas.
But there are ways, even using like a standard reflector, that will create a very harsh light.
Sure. If it's a smooth
Definitely
reflector.
a bit flattering, more flattering.
I mean, if you reflect the light, you'll soften that shadow for sure.
If you mix it with the ambient light you have in outdoors, you could do it too. Like we were talking, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago.
Right.
Mix it with the sunlight to use it as a fill and make it a bit less harsh.
Right. Yep. I mean, it's all about give and take. So if you have, let's say, as long as you could pull in 1 to 1.5 stops of light into shadow, you're going to reduce those shadows. And what's nice is you can even there is a way that you can do 3 lights where you have 1 light, your main, then 1 stop below is your underlight. And then if you take a mid light, like a ring light, right, and you shoot it at half, you get rid of every single pimple off their face.
Yep.
And that's only because of pimples are shown because of the fact that there is shadow attached. So if you go from top down, then you go from bottom up, and then you go from the middle straight, you're getting rid of every single shadow that's possible.
It will be basically flat light.
It is flat light. I mean, that is what flat light is. It's 100% flat light. And one thing that's good about every modifier you've seen so far, okay, is that the program Satellite does have all of these modifiers, just to let you know.
So let's bring the.
So just to let you know, we want to put out there that this is one of our sponsors. So go for it.
This episode is brought to you by Elixir Software, creator of Satellite. Satellite is a revolutionary pre-visualization software that allows you to set up and use a multitude of equipment from strobes to set design that allows photographers, videographers, set designers, and so much more to collaborate and prep for those productions.
They are currently offering a 30-day free trial right now, so you can test out the product.
And Satellite has a community that is currently in the beta form and is an amazing feature of like-minded visionaries that provide already pre-made setups that they had created in which you can modify to your liking.
With Satellite, you can regulate the output of the lights, add your specific type of lights, speed lights, define the space that you are working in, use lampshades, screens, reflectors, and more.
That's right. This software allows for you to change light modifiers, type of cameras and lenses, adjust the zoom, f-stops, and ISO.
Satellite newest version even allows more creative aspects like color gels, color temperature, and even allows for a modeling light.
Join thousands of other visionaries and boost the level of your team's production efforts by getting your hands on Satellite revolutionary software today. The link is in the description.
Sometimes I feel like I am on TV. We just got a break.
We needed a break. So,
Okay.
actually, I did need a break. That's why we did it. So, now we're going to go into the Fresnel spot.
Yeah, I lost. I think.
Whoa, what happened there?
I don't know.
That's kind of weird. All right. So anyway, Fresnel spot, that's actually at the flood stage. So you're looking at 70 inches. Then I'll go up there and I'll actually throw it into whoa. What happened?
That was weird.
Dude, when it's live, we don't know what's going to happen. So.
Well, I cannot talk too much about Fresnels because they're really expensive in Brazil and I don't have one.
Well, here they actually make a few of them. Like I use one that's only like $150. So it's not too bad. At least the way I see it, it's not too bad. But I mean, $150 could be a lot to someone, but to me, it was definitely. See if we can get that to work. It does not like it.
Yeah, it doesn't want to get it full screen.
Well, anyway, you can see it here. So there it goes down into the spot. Now go back to flood. And the flood is a 70-inch. And I'm about to show you an image that actually comes from the flood. And again, it was on a set. So here's one that's from the set. And this is actually shooting through some blinds, right? So we had the blinds kinked probably about that much, and then the light would go right through it and right onto the model. I think I have BTS in this, don't I?
You show me before the live. It's there somewhere.
I thought I had a BTS. Guess not. So, but yeah. So this light is awesome because it's strong. Like this one right here was a 650 watt. They do come in 1,000 watts. They come in 2,000 watts. Heck, they even come in like major 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000. You're going to be paying some good money for those, but 650, 1,000 is basically about the roundabout to where I like, because I do everything in studio. So, or on a set, which is usually like a big studio. So I don't really need a lot more power than that. I do have 1,000 and a 1,500. But again, this is all shooting. The way you shoot Fresnels is a lot different than strobe. A Fresnel is what you see is what you get. And the Canon EOS R is great for this. And I'm saying Canon because that's what I got. But I believe the Z7 does the same thing. The electronic viewfinder, when you're working on a set or you're working with constant lights, the mirrorless are by far one of the best things since sliced bread when it comes to this type of shooting. One, the EVFs are crystal clear, especially on the Canons. And one thing that's really good is that the EVF will give you exactly what that image is going to look like before you even take the shot.
I think even a better thing is that you can see your histogram inside the EVF.
Oh yeah, 100%. Seeing that histogram without taking your eye off is one thing I enjoy about the EOS R, R5, and R6 is the fact that I can see all that together. So let's see. What's the next one that we have? Oh,
the next one.
Barn doors. So we got the barn doors. Okay, the barn doors, as you can see, the spread's only like 19 inches when it's closed to its max. And try to see. I don't think I did one with that one.
Yeah, I don't remember you bringing any with barn doors.
Okay. So I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was a snoot, which is our last. But behind her was barn doors. So you can see how it was utilized to get this shot. Is the barn doors kept it so it was very angled at her. And it kept that stream right where her hairline was, which is what was the goal of this shot.
Let's use this time to remind people to subscribe, hit the bell, and leave us a like. If you are liking the show, just subscribe to get reminded when we get live again.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, please ask, because this is killing me that nobody's saying anything.
There is another thing that we can say, and I will give you the honor. What is the next show about?
Ha!
That's an amazing. Let me take the screen out.
You totally jacked me right there. All right. So anyway, our next show is going to be a live shooting sequence of setting up lights inside of the studio.
Secrets of portrait photography.
I am going to be shooting my lovely wife, and I am going to go step by step on setting up a perfect portraiture lighting. So that's going to be one to watch for sure. We're going to be going through basically each type of lighting throughout that whole sequence to make sure that you, even as a beginner, can actually do the same exact thing that we're doing. So it's going to be
give you some tips about not only how to set the light positions, but how to get the right configurations in your camera. So don't miss that.
Yeah, because it's going to be a good show for sure. Let's see. So we got a Fresnel adapter. Okay, this is a very inexpensive type of Fresnel. If you don't have a Fresnel, it's always good that you can get one as an adapter with a Bowens mount, and you can just throw it on there. You can change the spread. You can go from flood to flood the spot. Pretty easy.
It has the same effect as a normal Fresnel, but less power, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Light.
Actually, they're pretty close. An 80 watt, the ones that I was using for these videos is a 80 watt let's say it's a GMC, GPC. Can't remember the name. But I use these just because it made it quick so I can actually show you what each one does. That's the whole goal of this video and what we're doing today is to show you what these light shapes do. And that's what the modifier does. So we'll go ahead and run that again just so you can see. So this adapter expands and retracts. Okay. And it does that and it creates the light. And it actually makes a pretty good focus. So let's see, what other light do we have? I think we got one more, right? Which is the snoot. So snoot is one of my favorites. The snoot is good for backdrops, to add a little circle on the backdrop, to highlight the hair, rim lights. It makes a very focused light. A lot of the old Playboy photographers would take snoots and they would light up each part of the body with, snoots and stuff like that. So
the only problem of that is the model cannot move because there are so many lights on her bodies. She moves, she loses.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
You have that one with the snoot.
That was the one that we just seen. But I was looking. I'm trying.
Do you have any other one to show? I have
Go start showing yours to talk about them.
So let's talk about this is a 55 inches octa. It's a regular octa. And in a full body shot, this is the light you're gonna get to. So I didn't have any ring light on this. Was just the octa hair, so you can see the shadows falling down. The same octa I use it in a different way, with a clamshell in the same gear, and I got this kind of effect. Here I had a ring light, but it's basically in the position the octa was a clamshell, so you almost don't have shadows on her face.
Right.
It's so big. The octa is so big compared to her face that kind of wrap around everything.
It's gorgeous. I love wrapping light, and the bigger the softbox, and in the next live, you're going to see probably the biggest softbox you've ever seen. Because I like soft light.
Here you can see the setup. So you have the octa here,
Yep.
and let me see how many inches.
That's like a 32-inch reflector.
It's a 47 inches reflector under it. I think I just have that one more, and we talk about the street bank. We talk about this. Yeah, I think that's what was the last.
Show that BTS one right there.
Which one? This one?
To the right.
This one?
Oh, yep. There you go. That's a good one that shows your strip box, your octa, and how.
So, I'm using the octa as a main, the strip as a ring light on her. There is hidden here. You can only see part of the stand. There is a reflector throwing light on the background. It didn't get white. Rome just changed it very quickly for me on post, but that was the setup.
Yep. And I mean, lighting up white, you technically want to put like 2 umbrellas in the back. Okay, whenever you're doing a white wall, or when you're got a white backdrop, or if you got a gray backdrop and you're trying to make it white, of course you got to throw light on it. But most cases, any white that if you wanted to have an all white backdrop, it's good to have 2. One on each side would be okay. 2 on each side, one low, one high, at the same power would make everything white. So, what's that say? Because I can't read it.
I guess I had a bit of feedback, so I just turned a bit down. He said that he thought he was the only one that go to the studio and start to measure the spread of light of the modifiers and the sizes of modifiers.
Oh man, that's the only way to know what it does. I mean, a person buys a softbox. What do you buy it for? I mean, okay, it's a box that holds the light, but what does it do? As photographers, we want to know what it does. And that was the goal of this video, really, was to show how each modifier got a little bit smaller, a little more focused, all the way till we got to, 13 inches? So each light has its own purpose. And that purpose, you don't know what to use if you don't know what it does. And that's the key to this whole show, is to show you guys what each light was doing. So now, if you're in a tight room that's like, 1 meter by 5 meters, that's a little bitty room, isn't it? Okay, 2 meters by 3 meters. Okay,
No, 3 by 4.
Okay, 3 by 4. What is that, like 8 by 10?
Don't ask me on. I have to keep doing the math. We have this problem, So
See, he's from Brazil, and I'm from America. I'm from America.
Let me see feet. So 350 is 11 feet by 13. 11 by 13.
That's like a standard bedroom, right?
It's like a standard?
Yeah, like a regular bedroom.
Yeah, it is a regular bedroom.
Like what I'm in right now. I mean, this is a 11 by 13, I believe. So yeah, and in a standard bedroom, you don't need a lot of light, but you're gonna want to focus that light. And that's one of the goals of what we were showing, is that you can focus light easily, but you could also spread it if you want. So like if you got some of those little kids or things like that you want to take pictures of, and you got the backdrop of like flowers or whatever, and you want them to kind of be even lit, then yeah, an umbrella is going to be your best bet for that because it's an even lit all the way across.
The bottom line of this is that if you have a room my size, don't buy a 50 inches shoot-through umbrella because it's not going to work.
Yeah, don't buy a 48 by 80 softbox, which you're going to see next week.
Don't tell me.
I mean, it's going to be a massive softbox.
Okay, so now I have to ask you a question, and I know we're going to have different opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
So for the absolute beginner, the guy who just bought his first strobe or his first speed light,
Yep.
what you recommend them to buy as modifiers?
Okay. I personally would use either a 24 larger beauty dish with a sock, or I'd go with probably a 32 or a 48 foldable softbox from Glow.
Yeah, we have different opinions on that.
Sure. I mean, an octabox too could be done. I mean,
for an absolute beginner, I think he should buy the small umbrellas, shoot-through umbrellas. Because he has to learn it. He has to master it. I started with 2 of those.
I mean, if you can't afford anything, the umbrella is by far going to help you more than not having anything at all. Okay, I'm going to say that. But if you have enough to pay the $65 for that 32-inch or $69, I think is what it is for the 32-inch beauty dish, I would go with the 32-inch beauty dish.
I will tell you the difference here on my money, okay? I will not do the conversion to dollars.
Right.
But a shoot-through umbrella costs 10 times less than an octabox of 80 centimeters. 10 times less.
Well, it's like
at least 4 to 5 times less than a regular softbox, square softbox.
So here, I'll just add it to the stream. So if we're talking about an umbrella, so the photography umbrella, right? You can see how cheap these are. I mean, there's
a small shoot-through. How much they cost?
$13 for 2.
$13 for 2?
Yeah.
Very cheap.
Yeah, super cheap. And I go low to high, you probably get cheaper. Yeah, see, $5 plus $3 shipping. Or you get the reflective ones. Doesn't really have a price on those. There you go, $6 plus 9. So get the dual. It'll be easier.
A regular softbox, the small one, we just talked about it. That is, let me see here. Doing my conversions. 2 feet by 3, 2 by 3.
Yeah. You talking about the softbox?
Yeah. How much for it?
For a 2 by 3. Hold on, look at the Glow beauty dish. So this is the one that I recommend right here. So 34-inch collapsible. What's great about this one, okay, is one, you get the silver reflector inside that creates it into a beauty dish, but you can also remove it and it becomes like a parabola. So, that's one thing. And if you remember Vinny from our first show,
Vinny.
This is what Vinny uses.
It's almost like the one I'm using here right now. I cannot show you, or I can. I don't know. But mine is not a beauty dish. It's just a regular octabox.
And then this is the metal beauty dish. Now, there's 2 different styles. And as you can see, there's one here that's silver, and here's one that's white. silver will throw very, very, very hot specular locations on the face. If that's what you're looking for, silver is good. If you're looking for more of a keeping the color tone and stuff like that of the face, and not getting as sharp of white highlights, because I don't like those, go with the white ones. Those white gives it a softer light that comes out. Well, I would say not really softer. It's like the same light, but it's just it's kind of like putting in like a filter there, I guess. You know what I mean? You got your phone?
I got my phone. But I shouldn't show up in the live that way. But anyway, this is what I'm seeing. Exactly the same size as this 34 inches. Is here gridded so it doesn't spew in the background.
Yeah.
The 2x3 is doing my fill. So it's exactly what I'm using right now, exactly the same modifiers.
And if you're looking for an octabox,
How do I get out for
I have no idea. So if you're looking for like an octabox, Newer makes a pretty decent octabox. I look for octaboxes myself that I could put a grid in. This one, you cannot put a grid in. That's a fold over. Like these are all fold overs. So watch out when you're looking at them. The screen that you put in front, right, is going to wrap around the outside on these. So you really don't look for those. Okay?
That's another thing that I learned the hard way. There is, when you buy a softbox, put some more money on it and buy it with the grid.
Right.
Don't wait to buy the grid later, because at least here in Brazil you don't find it.
Yeah, like here's a 55-inch Newer, which is a pretty decent size octabox.
55 is big.
Yeah, it's 140 centimeters, but it comes with the grid, and you got $51. I mean, that's not that bad, Looking for another one that's on here. There's your Easy Lock, and this is just the Octa. But again, if you use the Beauty Dish one for $69, you kind of getting the same thing. And they do make a 48-inch if you wanted to get that high. But with the Beauty Dish one, you have an extra option to put the reflector inside that reflects the light out, which then makes that, remember, center part that we saw on the Beauty Dish. When you look at it, that center piece right there, you can see that center spot. It's a lot less light, but it gives you that wrap light. And it does that also with that 32-inch Beauty Dish that we saw earlier.
And the point is that the quality of the light you're going to have every time you have two baffles on it, and when you are talking about softbox and octabox, it will be the same light. The difference is the wraparound, because the softbox will always be help me out, buddy, less wider than the octabox. So the octabox will gonna give you more wrap around.
Right. And I have a beginner user list on Amazon, which we'll post into the description. But this actually has what I recommend as anyone that's becoming a beginner. It gives them several options. I have the ones for Nikon, the ones for Canon.
Next week, you're probably going to see it, but just buy it. Just buy the stands ROM.
See this?
Tell you to buy, okay?
See this right here? buy it. This right here is your gray card. And I don't have mine with me right now.
There's a
but-
question here for you, buddy.
Yeah, what is it?
What is the difference between the Octa and the Glow Beauty Dish?
Okay, I can show you that actually. So the Octa is a straight Octa. There's nothing there. You just get the inner baffle and the outer baffle, right? And that's all you get. With the Beauty Dish, which I have right here, you get this nice little piece right here. So the Octa part, or the Octa, would not have the Beauty Dish insert in the inside. So you're not going to get that. You'll get hot spots coming from the center compared to what the big octabox does, which the octabox throws all the light out, but you'll have the hot spot in the center. And that's why when you shoot a lot of your stuff, with your BTS, you can see that you angle it to feather, and you're feathering because you don't want the hot spot to hit the face.
Yeah, basically, as you said a few minutes ago, go for the Beauty Dish because you can just remove the dish out of it and use it as a regular Octa.
Yep, exactly.
It's 2 for 1.
Say again?
It's 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say get the Glow Easy, only because I like the Glow Easy, and that you get that 2 for 1. So I can pull it off, I can put it back on, I can push it closer so I can get more of a hit, or I can pull it away, and it allows some adjustments. I like having that variety. And you can see it's a heck of a lot cheaper, really. It's $79 for this 34-inch. And I mean, I've seen beginners that I've taught, and they bought this, and they went out there and they started shooting it night and day. It's great to see when people actually use the stuff that you say.
And basically, it's foldable, is collapsible, so you can take it anywhere. It's very different than having a hard shell one that is really hard to keep bringing with you everywhere.
Yep, and it uses snaps, by the way. If you look right here, it's not little.
It's not Velcro.
It's not cheap Velcro, or it's not those little. I call them J hooks, but they're basically clips that just clip, and then eventually the stuff starts wearing off.
And this is another thing to really pay attention, because those modifiers, as their build quality is very good, it will last you forever.
Yep. I mean, I've had mine since they came out, and I bought the 34-inch, I think the day it came out, and I talked to Adderall, I got them to send it to me, and I paid for it and all that stuff. It wasn't given to me. And I loved it. I fell in love with it, and I use it all the time. I mean, outside I use it, inside I use it. I mean, it does basically, it can do what an umbrella does. It can do what any softbox does.
Do you use sandbags with them?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
If I'm outside, that sucker gets sandbags.
Just checking.
Yeah, we don't want to have your type of. Yes, dude, we need to put it up here. Let's just show up for a good laugh.
No, next week after the Brazilian one, because I need to show it there first. But next week, you're going to see a big thing here. Apart from Rome shooting live, that's something you don't see every day. Apart from seeing Rome shooting live.
And my wife said she's going to be the model, which kind of shocked me, but what the heck?
You're going to see something really big, so don't miss our next show.
Yeah, it's we've got it planned out pretty well, actually. I think we've worked this one out pretty deep. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to go in stages. So right now you've had stage 1, which is you've met a few photographers. Stage 2 is you've seen different types of light modifications that go by the modifier. So now what we're going to do is move into stage 3 is putting the modifiers to work in a sequence so you'll understand how it works.
We're basically going to combine our first show that was about lighting setups with this show that is about modifiers, and with all the model directions and all that stuff. Will be a really cool show.
Yeah. So, it's going to take a bit, but it's a quick down and dirty as to how to use studio lights and how to make a nice senior portrait, especially for those that like seniors, that enjoy, shooting portraiture work. This is going to be the setup that you're going to look for. And I'll show you what it's like in each stage. So you'll be able to see what a background light's going to do and how you mix that all together into one big soup. That's how I look at it. It's soup. And we'll give you f-stops. We'll give you how many feet they are from the person, all that good stuff. So it's going to be.
We're going to guide you through your first shoot at your home. If you do exactly what Romeo will be doing, you're going to be able to shoot at your home at the same day.
Yep, and I'm even doing it in my home. So that's going to make it even easier for you to understand how this works. I have my front room has now been converted. So my wife didn't like me too much after that, but I don't care. It's for you guys, not for me. But I know a lot of you work from your homes, and I know, just like myself, is I work from my house. Now everything's been kind of with this COVID stuff. We all kind of have to change the way we do things, and a lot of people are now shooting inside their house. Angel says, my main struggle is that I don't know how to set up the lights. Not sure how high, what angle. That's exactly what we're covering next week. Literally, it is everything you just asked for is going to get covered next week. Next week is going to be a good show for you, Angel. And it'll help you see what to do. Because I'm going to go with, we're going to cover kickers. We're going to cover hair lights. We're going to cover background lights. We're going to cover
the main light,
and also adding in the reflectors just to show you what that does. And we're going to take it literally stage by stage and show you what to do. And I'm using 2 constant lights, mixing them with flashlights or strobes. So, that shows you that you can take both and still use them to make a portrait. So, and it was pretty tricky, but we got it. Anybody have any questions? Because we're about to go sayonara.
Okay, I guess that's it.
Yep.
That wraps around. And as we said, don't forget to tune in next week. Will be really good show. Will be a really good show. I guess that's it. Everybody knows my name by now, so see you next week.
So we hope all of you learned something or seen something and see something that you want. This is what this goal was, is to show you what these light modifiers do and which one you're trying to accomplish. Do a few shots with only one light. Some of us beginning. Yeah, Angel, you ain't got to worry about that. Always start off with the main light, which is one light. So we're definitely going to have one lights. Then I'm going to show 2 lights. Then I'm going to show 3 lights. Then I'm going to show 4 lights. Then I'm going to show 5 lights. And then a reflector. So technically 6. So, yeah, it's going to be good. All right, bud. Everybody out there, thank you for watching. And we hope to see you guys next week. What did Allison say? Are we going to show the post of our list?
Your list of gear.
I will put that on our YouTube channel, and I'll probably post it on our website, and I'll probably post it basically everywhere. So you'll all be able to get it. And I don't do the whole, we make money off of if you click on it thing. So
It's
enjoy, that stuff. This is a list that I'm going to have out there, and you guys can use it to get whatever you're looking for. So where are you going to put your Amazon list? Oh, I think I just said that. All right. So have a good day, guys. I know it's getting late here, and I know you guys have families, and out there where Alex is,
yeah, here is already 10:16.
He doesn't have daylight savings time.
Yeah, we don't.
So anyway, have a good night.
And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.